John Lennon, the iconic musician, songwriter, and peace activist, was widely influential in the 1960s and 1970s as a member of the legendary rock band The Beatles, following a hugely successful world tour. John Lennon made his inaugural car purchase, acquiring a Royce Silver Cloud in July 1964. But his love for cars didn't stop there. He amassed a collection of other gems over the years. So join us as we explore the stories behind each car and uncover the rich history and personal connections that make Lennon's exotic car collection truly remarkable. Number 10. 1965 Rolls-Royce Mulliner Park Ward Phantom 5. John Lennon owned a fancy 1964 Mulliner Park Ward Phantom 5. This car was originally made by Park Ward. The seats were covered in nice black leather. There was even a small cabinet to hold drinks and a table to write on. Also, there were lights for reading and a set of suitcases made of black leather. The car even had a small TV and a fridge in the back, and it was one of the first cars in England to have windows that were tinted. The outside of the car was all black except for the radiator. The radiator was silver, but John Lennon wanted it to be black like the rest of the car. Under the hood, it was a V8 engine with a size of 6.25 liters. The car could go up to about 96 miles per hour, but it wasn't very good on gas. It only got about 11.8 miles per gallon. Then, in 1967, John Lennon decided to make his car even more special. He wanted it to be colorful and unique, so he asked an artist named Steve Weaver to paint it. The result was amazing. The car was covered in bright colors, with swirls, flowers, and peace signs all over it. It became a famous symbol of the 1960s and John Lennon's love for art and expression. Number 9. 1965 Ferrari 330 GT 2+2 Berlinetta. In 1965, John Lennon purchased a stylish Ferrari 330 GT 2+2 Berlinetta. Crafted by the esteemed Italian coach builder Pininfarina, the car boasted a classic 2+2 seating arrangement, ideal for both thrilling drives and leisurely cruises. Its exterior design featured graceful lines exuding timeless sophistication. Beneath the elongated hood lay a formidable 4-liter Colombo V12 engine, generating approximately 300 horsepower for exhilarating acceleration. With a top speed of about 150 miles per hour, the Ferrari 330 GT promised an exciting ride. Its handling was precise, aided by independent front suspension and a rear live axle, ensuring a smooth driving experience. It represented a blend of style, power, and a hint of rock and roll, reflecting his taste for both elegance and performance. Lennon's investment in the Ferrari came with a hefty price tag of $67,800 in 1965. Clearly, owning such a piece of automotive history would require a substantial investment, but for someone like Lennon, it was more than just a purchase, it was a statement of his style and status. The Ferrari 330 GT was not merely a vehicle, it was a symbol of luxury and prestige, embodying the essence of rock and roll along with its owner's iconic status. Its timeless design and powerful performance continued to captivate automotive aficionados, preserving its legacy as a classic icon of motoring history. Number 8. 1965 Mercedes-Benz 230 SL Roadster. In 1965, Mercedes-Benz introduced the 230 SL Roadster, a car known for its blend of style, craftsmanship, and a hint of rock and roll. This vehicle, once owned by the famous John Lennon, was set to be auctioned in Scottsdale back in January 2017. John Winston Lennon, MBE, was the proud owner of this car, which was initially registered in the UK on August 1, 1965, with the license plate GGP196C. After some time, it made its way to California in 1993, passing through various hands along the journey. The 230 SL Roadster belonged to Mercedes-Benz iconic SL class, revered for its timeless design and top-notch engineering. One of its standout features was its unique roofline, earning it the moniker Pagoda Top. Underneath its elongated hood rested a robust 2.3-liter inline-six engine, boasting Bosch fuel injection and delivering approximately 150 horsepower to the rear wheels. Its sleek design, strategic wheel placement, and removable Pagoda hardtop made getting in and out of the car a breeze. In terms of performance, the 230 SL Roadster packed quite a punch. Its naturally aspirated petrol engine, with a displacement of 2.3 liters, housed 6 cylinders in a straight 6 configuration. This setup generated 150 horsepower at 5,500 RPM and 196 pound-feet of torque at 4,200 RPM. It could accelerate from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in approximately 11.1 seconds and achieve a top speed of around 200 kilometers per hour. As for its transmission, the 230 SL Roadster was fitted with a 4-speed manual gearbox, enhancing the driving experience for enthusiasts who appreciated the thrill of shifting gears themselves. Number 7. 1966 Mini Cooper S Radford DeVille. The 1966 Mini Cooper S Radford DeVille, a classic car that found its way into John Lennon's eclectic collection. When John Lennon got the car, it was a Mini Reg LGF 696D. It was made by Radford, a company that changes cars to make them special. The car was originally made in February 1965, and it was sent to a Car Mart Ltd in London on March 3, 1965. The Mini Cooper S Radford DeVille was different from the normal Mini Cooper S. It was changed to look special. It had a black color outside, including the wheels, bumpers, and seats. The windows were very dark, making it hard to see inside. These changes were made by Harold Radford. Under the hood, the car had a petrol engine. It didn't have a turbocharger. It was just a regular petrol engine. The engine was about 1.3 liters big, and it had 4 cylinders in a straight line. It could make around 76 horsepower, which is how strong the engine is. It could go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 13 seconds. Its top speed was around 100 miles per hour, which is how fast it could go at its maximum. The Mini Cooper S Radford DeVille came with a 4-speed manual transmission. This means the driver had to shift the gears manually to make the car go faster or slower. Number 6. 1967 Lamborghini 400 GT. In 1967, John Lennon got himself a fancy Lamborghini 400 GT. He bought it on November 2, 1967, from a place called Lambo Car Garage, Maiocchi SRL in Milan, Italy. The car was a real looker, painted in a color called Grigio St. Vincent, which is just a fancy way of saying silver. Inside, it had this luxurious brown leather they called tobacco pigskin. Now, what made this car roar was its engine. It had a big 9.3-liter quad-cam V12 engine. That's like having a powerhouse under the hood. And to make it even more impressive, it had 6 Weber carburetors. These are like the lungs of the car, helping it breathe so it can produce a whopping 320 horsepower when it revs up to 6,500 RPM. When it came to shifting gears, this Lamborghini was all about control. It had a fully synchronized 5-speed manual transmission. That's like having a perfect dance partner, making sure each move is smooth and precise, giving the driver an exciting experience on the road. This car had a unique style with its roofline and windows. Compared to its earlier models, the 350 GT and the first 400 GT, it had larger side windows and a smaller rear windshield. Picture it like wearing a sleek tailored suit that turns heads wherever it goes. And of course, the color combination was top-notch. The silver exterior paired with the brown leather interior was like a match made in heaven, oozing class and sophistication from every angle. And to complete the package, it rolled on these classic 15-inch Barani wire wheels, adding a touch of timeless elegance to its overall appearance. Underneath all that style and power, the engine had a displacement of 3,929 cubic centimeters, making sure it had the muscle to back up its appearance on the road. Number 5. 1969 Leyland Austin Maxi. John Lennon made an interesting choice in 1969 when he opted for a Leyland Austin Maxi as his ride. The Austin Maxi hit the roads in May 1969. It was a 4-door hatchback with a 1,485 cubic centimeter E-Series engine positioned sideways and a 5-speed manual gearbox powering the front wheels. Its suspension boasted hydroelastic shock absorbers, sometimes called cable change models. The engine ran on regular petrol and had a capacity of 1.5 liters. It featured 4 straight cylinders and could generate 75 metric horsepower, which is equivalent to 74 brake horsepower or 55 kilowatts at 5,500 RPM. The torque output stood at 114 newton meters or 84 foot-pounds or 11.6 kilogram meters at 3,500 RPM. Moving on to its appearance and features, the Austin Maxi sported a unique hatchback design that offered plenty of space and adaptability. It marked one of the initial offerings from British Leyland following the merger of BMC into British Leyland in 1968. While it excelled in practicality and spaciousness, luxury and refinement were not its strong suits. Its exterior design leaned towards functionality rather than flamboyance, prioritizing practicality over aesthetics. Concerning its transmission, the Maxi boasted a 5-speed manual gearbox, a relatively advanced feature for its era. The transmission facilitated smooth cruising at higher speeds. In terms of weight and performance, the Maxi tipped the scales at approximately 979 kilograms. It took around 16.2 seconds to accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour. Its maximum speed reached about 142 kilometers per hour, which translates to 88 miles per hour. Number 4. 1969 ISO Fidea. The 1969 ISO Fidea, introduced at the Frankfurt Motor Show in September 1967, stands out as ISO's sole 4-door model. The Fidea boasted a sleek and elegant body, blending luxury and performance seamlessly. Under its hood, the Fidea initially housed a Chevrolet V8 engine, churning out approximately 325 horsepower. However, due to a disagreement with General Motors, ISO transitioned to a 5.8-liter Ford V8 engine, the Chevrolet V8, with a displacement of 5,354 cubic centimeters, generated 350 brake horsepower at 5,800 RPM and 490 Newton-meters of torque at 3,600 RPM. With this robust engine, the Fidia could accelerate from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in roughly 7 seconds. Buyers could opt for either an automatic or manual transmission, offering flexibility to suit various driving preferences. Inside, the Fidia exuded opulence, featuring polished wood and hand-tooled leather. In 1971, a revamped interior design aligned the Fidia with another ISO model, the ISO Lele. Positioned in the luxury sedan market alongside rivals like the Maserati Quattroporte and Ferrari four-seaters, the Fidia briefly held the distinction of being one of the fastest four-door cars globally. Its combination of performance, luxury, and craftsmanship appealed to discerning buyers seeking both speed and sophistication. Number 3. 1970 Mercedes-Benz 600 Pullman. John Lennon added yet another gem to his collection in the form of a 1970 Mercedes-Benz 600 Pullman. This car was not just any car. It was a symbol of automotive excellence, boasting advanced features and unparalleled luxury. The Mercedes-Benz 600 Pullman itself was already renowned as one of the most iconic saloons ever produced, favored by celebrities, heads of state, and dignitaries for its opulence and sophistication. Lennon's choice of the 600 Pullman was a reflection of his refined taste and appreciation for the finer things in life. Powered by a 6.3-liter M100 V8 engine with single overhead camshafts and Bosch mechanical fuel injection, this car delivered a factory-rated output of 300 horsepower and 434 pound-feet of torque. Paired with a 4-speed automatic transmission, it could achieve speeds of up to 127 miles per hour. Inside, the 600 Pullman offered a sanctuary of luxury. It featured a rear cabin divider for privacy, inward-facing rear seats, curtains for added exclusivity, front and rear air conditioning, a Becker Mexico radio, and even a cooled rear drink cabinet. The elongated wheelbase provided ample space for passengers in the rear compartment, while its elegant lines, chrome accents, and luxurious appointments ensured it turned heads wherever it went. John Lennon's specific car, identified by chassis number 001580, holds a special place in automotive history. It is considered one of the most important 600 Pullmans ever built, serving as a symbol of prestige, sophistication, and timeless design. Number 2. 1972 Chrysler Station Wagon. This particular Chrysler was not just your average wagon. It was a special order, customized to the preferences of its owner, John Lennon. Lennon opted for several distinctive features that set his car apart from others of its kind. Painted in a striking amber Sherwood metallic, it caught the eye wherever it went. Unlike typical station wagons of the time, Lennon chose to forego the fallwood trim, giving the car a more understated appearance. Underneath its hood roared a powerful 6.6-liter 400 cubic inch Holley 2-barrel carbureted V8 engine, capable of producing 190 horsepower and 310 pounds of torque. This engine was paired with a Torque Flight 3-speed automatic transmission, ensuring smooth and efficient performance on the road. Despite its power, the car burned fuel at a rate of approximately 11 miles per gallon, reflecting the era's less stringent fuel efficiency standards. What truly sets this Chrysler apart, however, is its unique ownership history. Registered to Apple Records, it served as John Lennon's favored means of transportation. Its practicality and unassuming appearance allowed Lennon to move around the city unnoticed, using it primarily for city travel and trips between his Manhattan apartment and Long Island estate. Following Lennon's tragic death, Yoko Ono sold the car, passing it on to a single owner since 1996. Now, it finds itself back in the spotlight, up for auction by Braswell Galleries in New England. Despite its unassuming appearance, the 1972 Chrysler Town & Country station wagon carries immense significance. It served as the primary mode of transport for one of the most iconic musicians of the 20th century during his time in New York City. Number 1. 1979 Mercedes 300 TD. John Lennon's 1979 Mercedes-Benz 300 TD holds a special place in the history of cars because it was the last car he ever drove. He used this station wagon as his everyday car. It wasn't just for show. He used it to transport recording equipment. Sadly, in 1980, he was fatally shot on the front steps of his Manhattan apartment building, and the Mercedes-Benz 300 TD was parked in the garage at that time. Lennon's personal assistant ordered the car at the request of his wife, Yoko Ono, and it arrived in late 1978. Under the hood, the 1979 Mercedes-Benz 300 TD is powered by a 2,988 cubic centimeters inline-5 diesel engine. This type of engine, despite being mechanically fuel-injected, only generated 77 horsepower when it was new. The appearance of the wagon is characteristic of the W123 series, boasting a timeless and modest design typical of Mercedes-Benz vehicles from that era. Its purpose was practicality. It wasn't a flashy sports car, but rather a vehicle suited for everyday use, particularly for transporting children. Following Lennon's death, his last car, this W123 300TD wagon, went up for auction and fetched $31,900. Given its condition and the fact that it was the final car Lennon drove, many considered this price to be a bargain. Despite not being a high-performance vehicle, this unassuming Mercedes-Benz station wagon carries immense sentimental value. It symbolizes Lennon's grounded nature even amidst his global fame. Though its mechanically fuel-injected diesel engine wasn't the most powerful, it served its purpose dutifully as Lennon's last daily driver. As we explored John Lennon's exotic car collection, it offered a fascinating glimpse into the life of a legendary musician beyond the stage. Which car from Lennon's collection surprised you the most? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more exclusive insights into iconic figures and their possessions.